Greetings and salutations and welcome back once again into the record room. I am, of course, your host, Tony Giles. And now, I know what you might be thinking. Didn't we just have an episode the other day? Yes, you did. And as I've always said with the record room, when there is something worth talking about, I will talk about it. And usually I try to make the episodes weekly or at least bi-weekly. But then sometimes a record comes along that you just have to talk about. And that's exactly what happened with the record I have to talk about today. The record in question is Abriction, Banshee. And this is a new release from the UK-based black metal avant-garde dungeon synth label Repose Records. Good friends of mine. I love the guys there. And essentially, I hate this record. I hate this record on so many levels. It's hard to quantify really how much I hate this record, because I hate how much I love this record. If you could be in love with an album in a romantic fashion, I would be in love with this album. I possibly maybe booking a room at a travel lodge with this album. And man alive, this album was not on my bingo card for this year. And surprises come along like this occasionally, where you just have to go, what was that? What was that? And that's exactly what happened here. I saw this album pop up on Repose's site, and I read a little bit of the blurb, which I will read to you because it was so good and so perfect. It just made me want to listen to the record. And once I did, I was just floored, stunned. And there aren't many records. The last time I felt this way about a record was probably when I heard Under the Skin by Mika Levy, which at first I absolutely hated, and now is probably my top 2 or 3 of film scores. I absolutely adore that record. And this Abriction record is just, I don't know. There's no need for me to describe it, because the description on the Abriction Bandcamp is perfect. And I'm going to read to you now. So that's what I'm doing here. But we have Abriction Banshee. It's a 2 LP set. It's also available on CD. A friend once described this album to me as the complete MySpace era alternative music scene condensed and refined into one album. And right there and then, as soon as I read that, I had these horrible flashbacks of MySpace, because I'm an older person and I do remember MySpace. I was kind of in my mid-20s when MySpace came around, and some of the music was cool. Most of it was terrible. People combing their hair to one side and in their fringes, and you weren't sure if what the kind of fashion sense was. It was a confusing time for a lot of people. And as soon as I saw the words MySpace, I was like, oh, I think I know what this is going to sound like. Everything is noise, said of Banshee. If those true black metal gatekeepers thought Deaf Heaven's Sunbather was too hipster to be metal and a stain on the genre for whatever reason, that makes absolutely zero sense. I can't even begin to fathom how they'd react to Banshee. Now, I know that Sunbather, when it came out, caused a lot of controversy. For a start, it had a pink cover. It was still a great album as far as I'm concerned. It's still really heavy, still really melodic. I love that record too. A review on Abriction's Bandcamp page says 9/11, Windows XP, the iPod, and My Chemical Romance all happened within a month of each other. And this is the world Abriction was born into. In a sense, it seems like a straight line from there to here. The second consecutive 80-minute album by this incredibly brilliant artist. The internet, late-stage capitalism, mental health crises, the suburbs, I don't know anyone channeling the precarity of American youth into intensely compelling music quite like Meredith Salvatore, the sole creative force behind Abriction. This one is special. And that, my friends, it truly is. This is a special album in every way, shape and form. I have listened to all 80 minutes of this album many times. The vinyl literally turned up yesterday, but I have the digital copy because I purchased this, so I've been listening to the digital copy. Previous to that, I was streaming the album, and I couldn't get over every description of it was perfect. And I've sent it to a bunch of people I know that kind of are into that kind of music, that are younger people that are now starting to get into that kind of music. Everybody loves this album. As soon as you hear it, it's like, I should hate everything about this album, but you can't. You literally physically cannot. It is so incredibly good. So hats off to Tom at Repos for recognizing genius when he sees it, because this is nothing short of genius. I'm not quite sure if it's going to beat out my album of the year, Sedan's Visual Kill. It could well be, but this one is, you know, I haven't had as much time with this one, so who knows. I'll leave a link in the description so you can make up your own mind. Don't take my word for it. Always listen, try before you buy. But this is an exceptional listen. If you do like MySpace era music, you know, from that scene, the I Wrestled a Bear Once, Bring Me the Horizon, very like pop sensibilities in your metal, you may well love this album as much as I do. And the packaging from Repos, as always, is absolutely top notch. Everything by Meredith Salvatore, released by Repos Records 2024. Layout by Divine Nurses Studios. And it's a double LP. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Gatefold sleeve. I'll show you there. Some nice, spooky, you know, black. From the album cover, yeah, man, it's ticking all the black metal boxes. I would say that. But then you listen to it and you're like, wait a second. What? Wait a second. And that's what I found myself doing a lot with this album, going, wait a second. Comes with a printed insert as well, full color, both sides. And there are two different versions of this album. It comes on black vinyl and also neon pink album, because the MySpace era was neon pink. It was the day glow era for kids born in the late 90s, early 2000s. I am a big fan. I am a sucker. Having gone through it all myself, you know, this is just, it's beautiful. The color works. You can't tell now, but the light that's shining through it, it's really, really pink. It's really pink. It's like day glow pink on your turntable, which I have no problem with. And it sounds great as well. That's the other thing as well. It's a really well pressed record. It sounds great. Pale Moon Horizon, the first track, straight away. Streetlights, I'm a huge fan. It's got long, epic songs and shorter songs where you're just like, this album almost defies belief. It almost, how is this possible? Genuinely. And I am so thankful it exists. So, like I said, I will leave a description down below with a link where you can grab a copy of this. I'll leave a link to the Bandcamp as well, so you can go and stream it to your heart's content. But like me, as soon as I heard the opening minutes, I was kind of messaging Tom, like, I need this album in my life. So maybe it's me. I don't think it is. I think there's something special here, and I would love to hear more from Abriction. I really would. Definitely, I didn't realize it was the second album, so I'm definitely going to be going back and checking out some more. And remember, guys, if you enjoyed this episode of The Record Room, why not give me a big thumbs up? Maybe subscribe if you haven't already done so. Lots of fun things planned for the future. And remember, you can follow us on social media at Record Room Show. We are on X, Facebook, and Instagram, but most of the time you can find me hanging out here on YouTube. So please leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you listened to the album. Let me know if you enjoyed it or you absolutely hated it. I know this album is going to be divisive, to say the least, but big fan right here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And until next time, stay gold.